Uh, hello, 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 hello. Perfect, 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 perfect. I didn't mean for you guys to see this, like how I got my stuff set up. Okay. Hello. How is everybody doing? For people who haven't seen it, let me turn it on. Okay. How's everybody doing? For people who have not been here, thank you. I want to start off by saying that for returning individuals, thank you as well. Okay, because you have to be very, very thankful. There's only a certain amount of time that everybody has in a certain amount of time of people's lives. Okay, and when I say that, I mean to say that someone could always be watching you, but you never realize that. And that goes for anybody, like in a good way, more so to say. That's what I'm trying to say. For people that is new, my name is Eli, and welcome to ELI'S.JYESTHA. And today's video, we will be on here. I'm gonna be on here for a while, talking about Pluto and Aquarius part, um, Pluto and Aquarius part two. Okay, Pluto and Aquarius is this video is gonna be different. I don't know, for the last couple of days, I just been feeling like I should definitely. I've been thinking about some things to say about Pluto and Aquarius in this transit because it's been it's been very effective, but in ways that most people can't really can't really see. Okay, so for anybody who's watched my first video, um, of Pluto and Aquarius part one, I will 9 times out of 10 I will be requoting probably some things that I have said in that video. For people who want to watch part one, just go down on my live and scroll, and you'll see you'll see part one down below once you scroll on my page and go down to my live. Okay. All right. So what is Pluto? Pluto is death, rebirth, reincarnation, your rehabilitation, your hidden strengths, your hidden talents, your hidden gifts. Your Pluto is your most powerful psychological skill, our most powerful psychological asset you have. Okay, Pluto is also not only the most psychological powerful gift that you have, it's also the most psychological gift that your partners, your ex partners, your exes, and your partners have too. And also too, just anybody that you are in a pair with, that you feel very, very close to, just like a family member or like a significant other. That is Pluto. Okay, Pluto is also feedback because Pluto and all the other, faraway planets like Uranus and Neptune, it only, these planets are new, yes, but these planets are, of course, they only hone over one zodiac sign rather than the regular traditional planets. They home under two zodiac signs, um, at the same time. See, here's the thing. If you're doing calculations too, you don't have to necessarily do Pluto, but for more Scorpionists and for more answers, of course, I would never stop any one of you or anybody who just, of course, wanting to study something that may not I may not mention or I may mention. Okay, do what you need to do to get whatever type of information your mind is um um bringing you close to. Okay, Pluto is the expression of how you deeply, 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 deeply react. Pluto is also not only your deep down reaction, it is your deep down hate. Okay, Pluto is what Pluto is similar to Saturn in the sense of nowhere in it. When I say that, do not get me wrong. It's nowhere near Saturn as far as terms of planets, but I'm sorry as far as ruthlessness. Pluto can definitely stand up or be in that degree of where Saturn is or how the strength. Okay, Pluto is also Pluto is also how your aunties and uncles think, communicate. Okay, Pluto is also your aunties and uncles' efforts and how they put in effort. Okay, Pluto is how they put in efforts in a relationship. Pluto is your aunts and uncles' relationship styles. Okay, Pluto is your dad. Okay, Pluto is the debt you will not dodge. You will not cure. There's no cure to Pluto. Pluto is the Pluto is the Pluto is karma. Pluto, I said Pluto is debt, but it's not normal debt. That means Pluto follows you before life and it will follow you after life. Okay? Pluto is the sign of death. Pluto is also the sign, of course, of after death. Anything in the terms of death, Pluto is there. Okay? Pluto is the circumstances. Pluto is the weapon. Pluto is everything. Pluto is why that person did it. Pluto is how that person did it. And Pluto is everything in a sense of brutality, just like Mars and Saturn. Okay. Pluto is how your private area looks. Okay, you wonder how you want to know. Pluto is how your private area transforms throughout your life. Okay, not only that, your sexual encounters. Pluto is your sexual encounter. In what way do you get off? Pluto is humiliation. Since eighth house is about humiliation, Pluto is the planet of humiliation. Okay, why? Pluto is the darkest side of humiliation, like revengeful humiliation. Humiliation to where it's intentional, it's psychologically intentional. Pluto is your psychological intent. Okay. You want to know how you meet somebody, right? Go to the store, right? Let's say you go to Kroger's, okay, shopping for food. You see a lot of people, of course. Every time you go outside, you will see somebody. You look in somebody's eye, and for some odd reason, they hate you. They just don't know why. Your energy, they just hate your fucking energy and hate you. And it's just nothing you can do about that. You know, sometimes you can do something about it. Sometimes you can't. Pluto is the Pluto is your energy, just like Aries or Mars to say. But Pluto is the deep. Pluto is Pluto is Pluto is people's energy determination. That's what I meant to say. You go in the store, you look at somebody's eyes. You get what I said? Look into somebody's eyes, and once you do, you absorb their energy fields, and your body goes test or your feedback from your sight will tell you if that person may feel like a threat or if that person ugh, or if that person might feel like or if that person might feel like they like you guys get along, girl or male. Okay, this is for strangers I'm saying, but when you read Pluto can go for energy reader. Pluto is your energy reader. Okay. All right, I'm done with Pluto. Pluto in I mean, I just said Pluto. Aquarius. What is Aquarius? Okay. Aquarius is your children-in-law. Okay. The 11th house is your career. How you make money from your career. How you what is the value Aquarius 11th house? What is the value of your career? How valuable is your career? From the 10th is two away. Okay. Okay. The 11th house is your goal, your long-term goals. Okay. Um, the 11th house is your bone. Okay. Okay, your bone development. Okay, the 11th house is also Aquarius. It's also the sign of um um pleasure grouping. What style? See, Pluto is about pleasure more so. But if I had to say, okay, how many people like doing it like this? Me, and then people raise their hand. And then you compare it, okay, how many people doing like this? And then the other group, another group said me, and then the other group put their hands down that said me first. That is, Pluto is understandable difference. The differences you do not really understand, but you do. Pluto, I said Pluto. 11th house is, as far as body, your shin. Okay. 11th house is also your siblings. Okay. The 11th house is also your partner's grandparents. Okay. And more so, your, what the fuck was I gonna say? Oh, your, your, your partner's father's side grandparents. Okay. The 11th house is also cooperation. How do you cooperate when you're with a team? 11th house is your team, your associate. How are you associated with the people you're associated with? The 11th house is also government, of course, just like the 10th. Why? Government provides the law. That's 11th house and 10th. Government provides um, um, prestige. That's 11th house. The 11th house is your most dominant invention. What did you create? Okay? What did you create? Girl. Now, the 11th house is not only your most dominant invention, it is your most successful invention. It is the most successful invention because it comes later. It is the reason why you're on top, how long you're on top. The 11th house is with leadership, just like 10th house. But what makes what what makes you the leader? Okay, the 11th house is what makes you a leader. How are you a leader? Okay, out of the whole team, what makes you the leader? Okay, that's the 11th house. Why? Why? Okay. The 11th house is also 11th house is also plot twist. See, Pluto, you might think it's plot twist and it is because it's 100. See, the thing about Pluto, eighth house and 11th house is um it has that all of a sudden, okay? It has that all of a sudden type of pick, okay? Its powers is to succumb to oblivious change, things that don't even make sense. See, Pluto wants to exchange, but Aquarius wants to change. That's more so the major differences between these two. Okay, Pluto wants to exchange because Pluto has that significance to bond. Okay, don't get me wrong. Pluto is not an independent planet like 11th house. 11th house is independence, just like first. 8th house is dependence. How do you see? Pluto needs things. Pluto needs things. 11th house, it has that longevity of self, or not self, what I would say, but longevity of collision, of making things more so necessary for um see Pluto, I mean 11th house has that necessary thing to um not just what I would say go left field, but more so have that thing to where it's so independent that um being dependent, I can't explain it. I can't. I will for you guys. Pluto is about exchange. It's dependent because let me explain Pluto because I feel like once I explain Pluto, I can explain Saturn or Uranus. See Pluto. Why do I say it's dependent? Okay. See Pluto. It has that um. It has that dark hole pool of needing you, needing of confliction, needing of instant feedback, needing of power, needing of 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 destruction, whether or not it happens. Pluto would off itself if it could. Aquarius or 11th house is far from that. See, 11th house has that complexity of unpredictableness. Pluto can be unpredictable too, but 11th house is the ultimate unpredictable thing in this world. 11th house is a sign of unprediction. 11th house is unprediction. You tell a lot of people with a stellium. See, anybody with 11th house, the more older you get, the more stronger, the more powerful you become, especially if you have a stellium. If you have a stellium in 11th house, your naturality of just being is so strong that see some signs, most signs cannot do the 11th house, and especially see most signs cannot do the 11th house, but the 8th house, every sign has to do that. You might not have an 11th house, you might not have that, but you have an 8th. Okay, 11th house is technology. Let me go into depth. 11th house is technology progression. Okay. 11th house is science. 11th house is math. 11th house Aquarius. Aquarius is 11th house is 11th house is your soul's weakness. Okay. 11th house is your soul's weakness. Your soul weakness. If you have a strong fifth house, you're good. But if you do and if you have a strong fifth and first, you're naturally good. But if not, then this is this is definitely gonna take uh it's gonna take a toll. Why? The fifth house is your soul, and the first house is your spirit. Okay. What is your weaknesses of your character? 11th house is your character weaknesses, your character flaws. If I have an ego, what is flawed about my ego? What is the flaws of my character? Okay, you guys, you got a friend group, you got a group of friends, you got a group of cousins, you got a group of people you care about, you like, you love. What are their character flaws? What is their ego? What are their ego flaws? 11th house is the ego flaw. You think it's fifth house? Fifth house, it can be. It can be too much of the ego, ego, ego attraction. Like people who have a strong stellium in the fifth needs needs people to sightsee. To people with a strong fifth house, they need they need to feel like they're alive, or they need to feel like they're special. And I'm not trying to say that in a rude way. I'm just saying, with a lot of sun, it could be blindside, but not for the people who are looking at you, but for yourself, because that's where you're going to be focused on so much of what's wrong with me, what's wrong with this, what's wrong with that. See, if you have that, you have a lot of Pluto in the not even Pluto in Aquarius, but 11th house. Hmm. Hmm. Whew. I'm a little bit still like tired, but I gotta keep going for you guys. Um, so I think that's it for 11th house for what I have right now. Let's go to the second slide. Interpretation and signs. Okay, so friendship depth. Okay, so as time goes on and you develop, you have friends or you have associates. And when I say associates, I gotta come up. I would say friends at job, friends at your job. Okay, there could be some type of debt gained over the years. And I know I said Pluto is debt. It's karmic, yeah. Hmm. But Pluto is debt, karmic debt, meaning like, let's say you owe somebody, you say you might owe somebody, but God might say they owe you. You get what I'm saying? But you might think that you owe them, or vice versa. Like somebody owes you, and what I'm trying to say is that debt doesn't just come from money. It could be debt, meaning like a favor for a favor, an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, meaning you scratch my back, I scratch yours. That is 100% Pluto and Aquarius. Pluto and Aquarius needs that. It needs that opportunity to grow. Okay. See, Pluto always wants to destroy, but the 11th house always wants to be ahead. And meaning be ahead, they always want to be very crucial of the most logical sense. Okay. Remember, 11th house is a very masculine sign, meaning it's very direct. Pluto is a very, very hidden sign, meaning it's very subtle. Okay. When these two mesh, one or the other side could be affected. Okay. Whew. Friendship depth. So you or your friends or people you are close with may not just owe each other, but y'all might have a karmic law with each other, meaning you guys are in each other's lives, or you guys owe each other a specific type of friendship for a karmic reason. Pluto and Aquarius can bring that type of energy of no, you don't owe me money, or you maybe you do, but that's not the only reason why you owe me, type of thing. Okay. Jesus, I was not supposed to go like that. See, Pluto and Aquarius, intimacy with colleagues. So if you're at work, or I would say people who came from your childhood could come back, and in your childhood they could have had a different life goal, okay, but they grew up to have a similar nature or similar goal or a similar um backfield as you do, meaning they might have the same line of work, okay. The more, see, Pluto and Aquarius brings more sex with people who work at the same job, who work at who do the same line of work, who 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 have the same type of friends. Okay, Pluto and Aquarius brings that type of energy of where yes, you might be dating, you might be effing, or you might be like super close with your teammates or colleagues at your work field, but you're not the only one, and you may not be the only person of your person. Okay, maybe it's a group thing. That's what Pluto is. Pluto, I mean not Pluto, but Uranus and Saturn is. It's groups, particularly, particularly, particularly five or more people. And I would say to 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 be honest, it's really more like four or more. So Pluto and Aquarius kind of gives that orgy type of intimacy. See, with Pluto and Aquarius, there's going to be not only love affairs with colleagues, but there's going to be polyamorous or poly people are more so going to in this day and age of generation is more with Pluto and Aquarius is more so we're going back to that type of nature. See, Polly was dead a couple years, like a long time ago, or certain traditions do that with Pluto and Aquarius. A lot of the new age people are going to start not only doing orgies but exploring the polyamorous. Okay, having more than one partner. And by the way, people are doing that already. They're just calling them their side, or they're just not even calling them anything. They're just calling them a hoe, bitch, a slut, or um, not even a hoe, bitch, slut, but they're calling them my side dude, my side nigga, my side piece, my little shit. All these new age fucking words. You get what I'm saying? But this all ties into Pluto and Aquarius. Pluto gives Pluto gives 11th house an exoskin. You see this guy right here? Imagine it, the exoskin. Now imagine that exoskin around everybody. Okay? And exoskin is just like extra armor. So mentally, with Pluto and Aquarius, your mental, everybody's mental is going to be like fucking iron. It's going to be hard as fucking steel. Why do I say that? Pluto and Aquarius is a square off automatically. But not only that, it's a fix. See, with this type of playing field, people will be fixated on their wants, their needs, their companionships, their intimacy styles, okay? Their rebirth of their friendships, the new or the old friendships, either or. Pluto Aquarius is not picky because it is looking for certainty. Okay, new or dead friendship establishment. What does that mean? People of the past may come back, meaning your old friends. And there's a high percentage that you might create or gain new friends. And by the way, the new friends that you find during this transit, they're not new. They just finally came at this time of your life, but they're not new friends. They may be new to you at first sight, but they're not new. These are also friends, if not of the past life. Okay. These are also people that may carry spirit of your old friendships, of your old groups. Okay. Pluto in Aquarius wants to recreate governments money. Y'all see that tariff? I have to mention this shit. This is definitely Pluto and Aquarius. Y'all see Trump is trying to make tariffs, basically tax, see Pluto's taxes, basically trying to change the way the stylistic of money is in the transportation of, see, 12 from the 12th house from the 12th house is the 11th house. So foreign land from our land is foreign land. So foreign land from the foreign land, or foreign land from your foreign land, or foreign land from the foreign land will see us differently. 10th, if you, that's okay. The reason why I'm saying this too, you realize that the financial circumstances are, of money, or money in general, is going to be changing because of this new generation in this sign of Pluto and Aquarius. It has to grab it by the throat and, and redecorate how a dollar is valuable. That is 100% um, 11th house. It's never happened before. It's different. It's new. It's fresh. And if it's not new or fresh, it's not really used. See, Pluto is the useless, and then Pluto is also the useful. But really, 11th house is the is the useful. Rebirth of law and order. See, like I said, you see how Trump, he changed the circumstances of money. He's also granting new laws, signing new executive laws for how the people see everything. The 11th house is how our society sees the government. And you can look at that as fifth house too, but more so it's the 11th house. 11th house is how the society, how the people, how the citizens see, feel, view, and value of our government. How do we as people value our government? That's 11th house. And with Pluto there, it transformed that and tries to make it to where nobody knows what the fuck is going on. It wants to be extra complicated. Pluto and Aquarius, it likes that. It likes, one 11th house loves the unpredictableness, but eighth house again, it loves that destruction. Eighth house loves the destruction because it necessarily knows or thinks that things can and will get better through life or death. And 11th house is just the same way, but through the future, through time. Okay, this is a placement that a lot like stars that speak too soon. If this has happened to people, but death of gang affiliation is possible during this time. Pluto and Aquarius. There's a high if you're in a gang, or yeah, if you're in a gang and you're not deeply committed, it's just like a relationship. You either get cut from it or you die from it. Okay? And no, I'm not saying you're gonna die. I'm just saying the percentage is higher for Pluto and Aquarius because Pluto wants to kill groups and it wants to kill everybody inside the groups or teams or order. It wants to Pluto and Aquarius. It wants to get rid of order. Okay, Pluto doesn't believe in order. Okay, it doesn't believe in law either. 11th house is law as well, but 11th house is how really the law is seen. Okay, yeah, the law like anybody can write it on law, but how is it really seen? Okay, how do the people really feel with this type of placement? Everybody psychic ability is heightened to one of the most maximus degrees or maximus extension of power ever with Pluto and Aquarius. I was just talking to my friend, and I was telling him what's up with these planes. That's Pluto in the 11th house. Why? 11th house is air. Why is it air, Eli? 10th house is heights. It's the height, okay? You've been to the highest of heights. That's the 10th house. Whether it's literally or literally in your group, your team, you're the boss, you're the highest of high you've been. The fall is very, 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 very low. When you get on this plane, you got groups of people. You got groups of people coming from here. You got groups of people that's coming from here. Not only that, you might have kids. You might have you might have a whole family on there taking a trip. You have business people, business people with a lot of assets take for planes to get to where they gotta go. They have the financial stability to do it. That's the 11th house. Oh, I need to like a high serious business person and I don't know sales or real estate. Man, they're so rich. They're taking a plane for 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 uh for to another state. You got other people that may not be in that same field, but hell, they're powerful just as well. That's the 11th house. Okay, when Pluto gets there, it makes even more death even more easier to happen. Okay, death of planes, retransformation of air vehicles, of aircrafts is 100% possible doing it. New transformation of data. I was just watching. Oh yeah, I want to get to this show. I was watching Black Mirror, right? And how in the first 4 or 5 episodes, I could tell I was gonna fall in love with the show because of how they seen technology. That doesn't make any sense. I'm going to get that. See, there's multiple people in this world that try to make technology even more advanced. Sure, we go to third house. Yeah, it's gonna think. Yeah, it's gonna. Yeah, it's gonna. But for the long term, we always want to go to the 11th house because it gives as time goes on, it gives more of a definite answer. It gives more of a crucial answer instead. Okay. Um. What else do I want to say? Uh, I gotta write some shit down. I think that's freaking it. See, yeah, I think that's it. All right, guys. I'm more than likely gonna do a part three. Thank you so much for tuning in to part two of Pluto and Aquarius. Okay. Um, I'm 9 times out of 10, I am going to do a part three, and it's going to be more informative as far as where I want to go with Pluto and Aquarius. Okay, I should probably make a few more Pluto and Aquarius, but this is part two. I'm not gonna go too hard on it. Um, I'm gonna definitely have some points for. I'm gonna definitely have some things ready for part three. Y'all tune in, and I will more than likely. Oh yeah, I have to release a video for Sun and Taurus for you guys because today is the first day of Sun and Taurus. So get ready for that video, and then I have to do Aries, House 1 through 6, and then House 7 through 12 for you guys. Um, I wanna I wanna do more stuff for you guys. Just bear with me. This is a weird time for me, but I'm going to continue to release. And a webcam is coming soon, so you guys can see my face all like a lot of times. And I want to do more so. I kind of want to do real live, like examples of certain placements so you guys can kind of understand uh signals from this. Okay, this is Elijah, or that's my government. Perhaps ELI'S.JYESTHA. I love you guys. Guys, you guys got any questions, any concerns, anything from me, do not ever be afraid to hit me up. I will answer it with a quickness. Thank you so much for your love. Thank you so much for your support. Tune in for next video. Peace.